Hello, everybody. We are back with another State of the Whale. We obviously have our fearless co-founders, Max and AJ. We'll be going over kind of some quick stuff in terms of what's really happening here. There's lots of moving parts, lots of awesomeness, lots of bug squashing. But I won't steal all the thunder. I won't steal all the lightning. AJ, Max, take it away.
Hey, great.
Hey guys,
Okay, so updates.
good to see you, Rama.
Yeah,
Likewise.
so what are we holding? So I'm going to start just on the platform and what we've been working on recently. I think that's important. So it's actually interesting. We brought in Brad, which is our VP engineering. He used to run basically 200-person team in a larger company. And he came in with a lot of processes, and I think that's why you might have realized that Triple L slowed down a bit. I think Brad now is feeling very comfortable, and we're starting to go on an aggressive hiring spree of new engineers. Yeah. Our roadmap is me and Max and Brad worked on it this week. It's insane. There's so much that we're building. It's mind blowing. I think by the end of this year, it's not by the end of this year. The next 3 months, it's going to be insane. So, long story short, when Brad came in, I was the guy pushing new features, and Brad was like, "Let's slow down and fix bugs." We sort of flipped because I got back in the weeds. I'm like, "Okay, now we got to fix things." A couple of little things over here, over there, and Brad's like, "We got to speed up." And so we've been working hard on Google Ads, as you guys all know. I think there's still maybe issues today with Google Ads. We might actually run out of our quota again. We're working with Google to get our quota. We have our reps there working around the clock. I'm hoping early next week, Google is going to be fully solidified. But by tomorrow, everyone's data should be correct again with Google Ads. I think even today, I don't know if we'll run out of quota, but we may run out of quota. We're just dealing with a lot of scale guys right now. So a lot of scale and some API limits, rate limits from our partners that we're working on getting lifted. So that's the update on Google. We're also working on a Klaviyo bug, which we're pretty confident that we're going to crush out. We had some good progress on today and just small things here and there. There's so many cool things that we're working on for the Pixel page as well. A lot of people in Narwhal Nation, which we're going to call out soon. I want to build a way to track influencers easily with the Pixel. I don't think that's going to be too tough to build, and just track random links that you guys have that you guys want to see there. It's been a request. We're also going to build more attribution models, comparison of attribution models, the customer journeys, which we talked about many times, which is essentially done, but we're iterating on it a couple more times. Mm-hmm. There's a new mobile app, guys. The white screen of death is going away.
And we got a new logo.
And a new logo. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's pretty sick. I'm excited about it.
It's really
it's awesome.
Will it just update automatically for people or what?
Yeah. Once if they have automatic updates on, yeah, it's gonna update. It's pretty beautiful. I'm excited about it.
The iOS 14 update.
It's not really the iOS 14. Exciting things. We're hiring pretty aggressively in every single part of the company. So if you guys are talented and want to come work with us, let us know. And those are the big updates in terms of where development is happening. We are working actively on AI right now. We have two of our best developers right now. I mean, everyone's great, but really, really smart people working on LTV forecasting, which is going to come to both the cohorting screen and your ROAS, as well as the pixel, as well as time to conversion. So looking at the people that came today but didn't buy, figuring out who's going to buy and bring that into your ROAS. That's going to be we're actively working on. I think we're going to have an MVP of it already early next week. Not publicly available yet, but at least something that we'll demo and show you guys how it works on Twitter. And then going to come shortly after that. I'm not exactly sure when, but hopefully soon after that. I say everything's 2 weeks away, so yeah. It's
multiply that by 10.
So I'm staying away from timelines right now.
That's the rule of Asia.
I'm staying away from timelines. Just working with everyone and trying to get everything done instead of just promising. We're trying to move to under promising and over delivering. It's pretty hard trying to move there, but still the team, the goals of the team are pretty crazy. So I think everyone still has the same amount of pressure, and we're all very, very, very working around the clock basically to get you guys the best numbers and to get you guys what you need to scale your businesses. Now, part of something cool which I've been doing is I've been meeting some stores that are actually struggling with attribution. And first part of tracking is great, and for some stores it really solves a lot of their issues and lets them scale. But some stores are actually struggling, and some of it's not attribution. It could be just performance, right? But I even think in attribution, there's deeper ways to go, or even without, like, I think first party data is a good start.
Mhm.
I think we're the cutting edge of that, but I think there's something beyond that we can do potentially with AI and answering questions. Like, question that I always have, that I was actually surprised that we asked this week a question on Twitter of what would be the questions that you would want asked from an AI team.
What would be
And-
the features you want built?
What would be the questions you would ask a data
Right.
team? And so people had some really great questions there, but like there were questions that I would ask. I don't think people ask. Like, one question that I would ask is, what's the optimal spend? What's the optimal spend that I can get before I start losing?
Like if you could set one, like imagine like one end is like optimal spend, other end is like margin, right?
Profit,
If you could like toggle those two and see like, if I go up in spend, so my margin goes down, but my revenue goes up, my profit
So-
actually goes. That would be very cool.
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
you build that?
yeah. That's what we're working at. You
Does that make sense, Ron?
you need
Yeah.
AI for that, because you need to figure out the historic drop between the ROAS, between your increased ROAS, right? Your increased spend, sorry, and your ROAS drop off, and then your profitability on that.
The economic term would be, you really want to find your market equilibrium, where you're spending up to the point where you don't hit diminishing returns. That's the
Beautiful.
fancy way to say it, but I like AJ and Max's way of explaining it better. There you go. This guy knows what I'm talking about, diminishing returns. Yeah, that's really exciting. There was actually a really interesting tweet about that, and I think David from Modern Fuel had some really interesting things to say about that, because somebody had mapped something out, and he kind of put it a little too linearly, where that's not always going to happen. There's going to be a lot more variation. People aren't just going to buy on this linear curve. You're going to churn at different times, and so yeah, having not to do all that math is going to be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So that's basically what's been happening in development. Yeah.
Also, something that's more practical that I'm excited about, right, is ecosystem-based rules that we want to build in, right? Yeah, it's still amazing. It's really exciting. Can you take a stab at it and try to explain it?
Yeah, but don't expect it so quickly.
It's not 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's not 2 weeks.
It's creating. So making rules like Facebook used to have, when you could like sort of trust their rules. Now, like the metrics doesn't really work. So we're thinking of doing a blended rules off of your store.
Also off the pixel.
Off the pixel data, and
those are two different things.
Right.
You want to explain them?
And you have rules based off of the blended metrics in your store, so like net profit, things like that. And then you can also make rules based off of the pixel data from what we're picking up in your dashboard, and that would be similar to what Facebook rules used to be.
And we're also thinking of adding a middle level there of being able to connect campaigns and ad sets and ads to specific SKUs, right?
And how would you do that?
You just give people an interface saying, "Hey, take this campaign, map it to the Lulu 2 strand, for instance, and like that was by you, right? And then create a blended, right, off of that campaign.
And then you can also
of that
actually
specific
get
landing page, right? If the landing page is producing a lot of revenue, or this SKU is producing a lot of revenue, don't shut off that ad, because you know that that's really the main driver over here. And so thinking of how we can, it's something I asked a long time ago.
What does that do for you?
Meaning, if you know the Lulu's selling a lot, right?
The Lulu is a product on my own store, guys. If you want to it just throws out these product names. Like
Sorry.
No.
Max, I guess like 90% of the value would actually be just from the blended. Like, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Forget about that.
Let's keep it simple.
Yeah. On version 0.1, it would be based off of just the blendeds and pixel data.
And then I think another big kicker is having permissions on an ad account, which I always wanted like a VA to go in there, shut things off, but they had permission to everything. They usually had permissions to everything because Facebook didn't have.
We had a VA. Remember that VA story?
Yeah.
Story?
There at the beginning of Corona, right? They were doing the masks, and you were like restricted from selling masks on Facebook. Remember that? Remember back in the day? So I had a VA, and her account got hacked. She was overseas.
Hacked? I don't know.
It was either hacked or whatever. And I woke up, and there's a $10,000 ad set running with ads for masks on AliExpress.
Yeah, so it only spent $300, so it wasn't crazy. Yeah, exactly. And that's the time when we were actually crushing it on Facebook ads. It was like April of like
2019.
It was like the 2020.
I think it's
2020. It's COVID in 2020, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2019.
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah.
2020. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's a long giant year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
A lot of stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Account management, also user profile, account management, things that we need also for the sales org over here and for support. Like me and Max get on calls, and Jake were like, okay, so what do you want from us? Who are you again? You an agency? Do you own that $4 billion store? Like, who are you?
$4 billion.
We had a couple of those, yeah. So it's like it's confusing right now, and we're growing pains, but we're gonna work through them.
Yeah, and overall, it's just been really check boxes across with most people that I talk to. It's been a really cool ride to see how. And this will kind of sound cheesy, but like I think it's noble to run a business, and I think that helping people run that business more profitably just generates so many cool knock-on effects. Where kind of what we talked about last time, where like they're empowering people, and now people can kind of live at a different lifestyle because now they have these earnings that weren't there before, and kind of growing this pie. And I think kind of the weirdo altruistic person in me is that I think that's really cool that we can kind of impact lives at second and third orders.
Yeah, I completely agree.
That's what it's about.
Completely agree. I am still like, I know we talk a lot about helping the world, and Brad actually was in a company that was literally in healthcare, and their company was so focused about helping the world that it became awkward to talk about compensation and making money, and the whole like. It was weird. No, we're hardcore capitalists here. We believe in capitalism. You know, we wanna crush it ourselves personally and the whole company, and we want to help you guys crush it. You know, we're full believers in that system, and we think that capitalism is a forced altruism, right? It's the best way to force because the only way you can make money, unless you're crony capitalism and you're just taking advantage of people.
I'm talking about free market.
For free market capitalism, essentially, just the only way you can make money is by doing good for other people, right? Like us, like we're doing good and we're making money. And I think a lot of that's also self-driven, but it's the best system to self-drive people.
What does Ezra Firestone says? Like serve the world unselfishly and profit, something like that. That's like his thing.
I don't remember. Yeah.
It's like his tagline.
Beautiful. So we touched on economics. We touched on frameworks in terms of capitalism. You want to get into a couple questions?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Here we go. Our first one.
How did we get in?
Yeah, so it's actually exclusive to triple whalers only. If you are a triple whaler, there will be a banner in your app, and then you can jump right in. I think we're almost at 200 members now. It's popping. It's a really cool place.
If you can't find where it is on your app, just contact support at Daniela, and we'll hook you up with a way to get in there. It's exciting right now, Narwhal Nation. I think it's going to be a real hub. I think there's going to be two parts. Rob, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. There's going to be two parts. Narwhal Nation is going to be the part about the product and helping us shape, the e-com world in the next year. There's also going to be a part of just sharing data and helping you guys crush. One of the things that I learned that was most valuable, forget about softwares that I used, was always just groups or Twitter that I can just see great, like, hey, this is what I did today. Yeah. This is how it worked. And this is the strategy. Oh, you shouldn't have 3 creatives. You should have 1 creative. Oh, now Facebook likes lookalikes again. Like all these things. And
is it me or is it Facebook? Right?
Yeah. I think Josh, right? He's Narwhal Nation, one of our users. He used to do these whispers on Twitter. Whispers.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Whispers. Use that when Josh is one of our users right now. But yeah, like those type of things are gold, right? So we're going to have hopefully a lot of those in Narwhal Nation.
Yeah.
About Narwhal Nation and in general, triple whale users, we have the whole gambit, right? So we have people doing literally 5K a month, and then people doing 100 million a year. And so it's pretty amazing, and it's not specific to any cohort. It is, I think, for people that are trying to crush it in general and not trying to stay the same.
Yeah, and I would also even almost approach it in a different way, where I don't think there's just 2 parts of it. I think it's more so that there's this kind of like cool brotherhood or community that you're a part of that you can then share information freely. There's people that are at an elite level. There's people that are just starting their buying journey or getting into their marketing journey. And everybody in there has just been so warm and welcoming. And I really think it's some of the best attributes of the DTC community manifested in Narwhal Nation. We have a jobs board where people can post jobs if you're looking to hire. We'll be throwing our jobs in there. We have Cody Plocker, one of our just awesome power users. He's actually even got his own channel called Cody's Corner. So if you have questions, you can just drop your question in there, and he's doing rounds in there, answering any kind of questions. We have our general channel where people are introducing themselves with little fun facts, and we're learning all this. There was a guy that came in that he was actually the stable master for a Sheik in Qatar. There is another person that's making sunglasses or eyeglasses from recycled plastic bottles. I mean, the innovation is endless in there. And so I would say it's not necessarily two parts. It's more so you can come in and get as much value or as little as value as you want. But yeah, it's been really, really cool. And if you aren't a Triple Whale user and you do want to get involved, we do have a free group called Whale Sanctuary that's going to be on Facebook. So you can get involved there as well. But
Rabba, now what's going on?
Max. Oh, the portal! Max walked through the portal. So I am stuck in the Winter Wonderland here at Columbus HQ, and it is a fun time here. Okay, let's jump into.
Rob, I want to say one more thing about
yeah,
specifically, guys. There's in Triple Whale, we get a lot of access to people's data when we're QAing it, and there's different stories out there and different people giving you advice. And some people, they're giving you advice, but you never know what's behind them. I think Cody, whatever he's doing, guys, just listen to what he's doing. He's doing it right. He's running the business.
Cody,
And so I think his advice is gold. And I just want to say, I think his advice is spot on. Ash, also, that these people are running amazing businesses. It's amazing what they're able to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think so highly of him. We started a podcast, so our first podcast will drop tomorrow called Ad Spend. It's Cody.
Did you on that with him?
Yeah, Cody, Ash, and I, a little trio of awesomeness, and we basically just jam on kind of the latest, greatest stuff in DTC, best tactics, strategies, how to run a profitable business. So yeah, they're really high level. Cody and Ash are really down the path. It's they're really good, and they're really awesome people. Like there can be really talented people that might be a little rough around the edges. These two are the whole package, man. They're really really awesome. Very empathetic. Okay, let's get into the next one. So I think this is for the Austin hub. We actually are going to be doing something for South by Southwest, to be determined. Kind of Kevin is actually our head of community is scouting locations right now. We'll probably host a little podcast stuff. I'm trying to get Max and AJ to come out for a few days. It's mid-March. So South by Southwest, for those who aren't familiar, it's a big tech. It's actually arts conference. So there's tech, there's video, there's all this awesomeness. There's kind of 3 tiers of it. And so it's actually where Twitter launched. We're kind of launched.
Oh, yeah.
So, it used to be OG. It got a little corporate, but it's still really, really fun. Anyways, the too long didn't read theirs. We have a really awesome office in Austin that's basically catty corner from Rainey Street. If anybody's familiar with Austin, it's one of the big drags where a lot of stuff goes down. So stay tuned there. We are doing something, and we'll get you all the details for that. Where else do you want to go?
Merch? Yeah, what's with the merch?
Merch is coming. So merch is coming. Kevin should have ordered it yesterday. If he didn't, I will crack the whip and make sure that gets out. But yeah, you guys should be getting it within the next 10 to 14 days. There might be.
And that's the pod stuff?
Yeah, this is the pod stuff. And then we will be launching a proper merch store. Yeah, that will probably be next week-ish. We're still kind of finalizing some universal designs. We had some exclusive designs for the Pixel Beta people where they're going to get their own pod kind of exclusive shirts that are only to them. But yeah, so that is coming. Great questions. We touched on this last time, but TW is coming very, very shortly. Like we said, we are, like I said, building out that big office in Austin, and we're building actually a podcast / video studio in there that will help expedite a lot of that. So stay tuned there. But yeah, that's definitely been something people really, really want. So it is coming very, very soon. Oh, thank you. The 11th through the 20th is South by. So we'll be doing something kind of closer to the 11th than the 20th because the tech portion is actually earlier in the week. What else do we got here?
Yeah. Oh,
absolutely. So AJ, myself, and Max, and then Mo and Brad as well, right? Yeah. So yeah, we'll have a pretty heavy presence at Geekout in Dubai. We actually do have some discount codes, so if you want to reach out to us, if you are interested. Personally, I think it's the best DTC event in e-commerce. Shaq and team do a really good job there, and Dubai is going to be really, really awesome and amazing place. It is a little bit of investment. So if you do have some questions and you want to talk things through with me, let me know. But yeah, I really highly recommend it if you do have some income to spare. Plus, nice little tax deduction if you are having a good year, bring down those tax liabilities. But yeah, really, really awesome. And yeah, hit us up for a discount code and we can help you save a little bit of that monies, and you can play around a little bit more in Dubai. And as the Burj Khalifa, you can go see the tallest building in the world. Woo, woo, woo.
We're going.
Yeah.
I think we should also.
We're gonna go. Well, we're gonna go to Israel too, right? We're gonna get
snowboard
to HQ.
on the-
I know. Have you seen the water thing too?
So there's so many crazy sandboard.
Yeah.
I want to go on.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Boom, boom,
And
boom.
we're gonna go over to
AJ, you down? You gonna do some snowboarding with us on the sand?
Not for anything.
There he is. There he
Yeah.
is. I think that's all of them. Let's see if anybody else has any more diminishing returns. No, Will. Oh, this is cool, actually. So this was kind of talking about the AI stuff. That'd be kind of cool. That's something that we could probably explore, kind of getting into more of a really simplistic, taking all this really complex data and simplifying it into really easy action.
We're actively working on this already. We're forming the best AI teams I think are in existence. Some of them have literally tattoos of neural networks on their arms. And we're actively working on everything we can do. Essentially, we don't want to be a dashboarding company. We want to kill dashboards. And honestly, we don't want you to look at our app. We have people looking at our app 30 times a day. Like someone commented on Twitter the other day that you'll get dangerously addicted to checking your stats on mobile.
True.
Yeah.
But we eventually we want to grow out of that. Right? We want to grow to a place where Triple Whale is running your business for you. That is the goal. And so the first step of that goal is going to build essentially like a Raba, like a guy like Raba that can look at your data and just give you insights. The first stage is pull out the right insights and sort of like a news feed with insights. So like the Shopify news feed with actual useful things. And then go on to actually act on your behalf.
Yeah.
Saving you some time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well put.
Take a risk. You open up like an investment account.
Yep.
It's like what's your risk tolerance?
Yeah, exactly.
You could have things like.
And it's kind of that goes back to our kind of thesis of being able to do the or capital asset management or deploying capital.
Like inventory just sitting and you want to flush it out.
Yeah.
Like how hard do you want to push it? Right?
Yeah,
and then you have like the cash turnover.
Yep.
And then the break even point, and just make sure that those are just
100%.
And then just flush it out.
We have this issue in the company. Not this issue where like there's two types of features that we're building out. There's the M+1 problem, which we talk about.
There we go, David. What's up, David?
How cool is this? We got somebody flying. David, I was supposed to be flying today, so I'm a little jealous. I'm stuck in Columbus with these yahoos, but they're making it nice for me.
It's fun. Man.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
So there's two types of features that we're building out right now, right? There's the M+1, like the Amazon integration. We know everyone wants that, right? And then there's the features that we know we can build, which I don't think anyone expects. Like there's some features that we hope to come out with this year that I think people only expect to come out in the next 5 or 10 years. I think will change the industry. And so there's like this balance. How deep do we go into exploration and things that we don't actually know if we can do? We think we can, but we might end up hitting a dead wall. Versus how much do we build things that people know people want, like a CDP, which we're going to be actively building. We know people want that, right?
That's a customer data platform for people that aren't hip.
Essentially, taking the pixel data and all your third-party data from everywhere, baking it to one. A lot of enterprise clients use this. Segment.com is one of the big CDPs in the market.
.io.
.io. They bought Twilio for I think $3 billion.
Yeah.
Every feature we build, we think of like this, right? Like Segment.io is essentially a huge team just building out a CDP, right? So how is a company like Triple Whale going to build out a CDP? And the answer is because we're so focused on you guys and Shopify, right? We're only focused on specific segment of the market. And so we could take a CDP which has, 50 features, find the 3 most valuable ones and bring them to you. Essentially, that's what we're going to be doing with every piece of software we build out. We're going to find the 3 most or 4 most valuable things, dissect those and bring them back to you as simply as we can, right? Like if you compare Triple Whale to Supermetrics, for instance, as an example, or to any other funnel.io, all those other platforms that pull in data, right? What?
I'm being a little bit of a jerk, but RIP Order Metrics. That was a bit they were a little bit in our space, but I wish them all well.
We can talk about that too, actually, about the history over there. Yeah. So those other platforms, you can bring in any data point you want. Triple Whale, you can't. Right? Essentially, Triple Whale is a handicapped analytics tool if you were comparing it and the amount of data it can bring in, right?
We are not handicapped. We are a focused, energized tool that is making the choices for you.
The point is the iPhone was a handicapped phone when it launched, right? It was like it was stupid, right? It could barely go on the web. It could barely take a camera, but it did enough things together that were magical that created a new experience. Triple Whale is not that right now, right?
Internet communicator, a web browser,
Exactly.
and a phone.
Exactly.
No
Triple Whale's like that right now.
The first one, yeah, I think it's trash though.
Yeah, enough value in our current app that it's magical. And I think as we add more features, it's going to be better. Yeah, but Order Metrics, I want to say goodbye to Order Metrics. Order Metrics was one of our...
So guys, I used to use them all the time.
Me too.
Yeah.
I did. Good night, sweet prince.
They weren't a bad product, first of all. And they were, I used Order Metrics back in the day with Max. I think they were actually the impetus to Triple Whale. Using Order Metrics is why we wanted to create Triple Whale. There was whatever. It just wasn't. It was a market need that was identified by a product, right? And there was more to be desired in the execution of that vision. But I think they did hit on the problem early on. I think the first ones hit on the problem early on.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
and to be fair, they made some pretty big bets in the last year where they moved away from their kind of OG interface of basically walking down a P&L into this really aesthetically pleasing but very hard to derive data or insights, in my opinion.
Actual quick.
Exactly. And I think that's something that can be very like a siren song, where it's something that looks great but doesn't like. At the end of the day, we need to get people more profitability. We need to make people better, or they're making more money for their clients. And if the UI isn't accomplishing that, if the UI is just pretty, I think that's, in my opinion, a miss. And so that I think that was one of their struggles there, where they made a big bet into that new experience, and it looks like it wasn't really the pathway for them. But anyways, I don't want to pontificate or dance on anybody's grave. I hope everybody at Order Metrics is doing well and landing on their feet there.
The company Order Metrics has a couple of really big other products that are crushing it in different industries. So I'm sure they're doing fine.
Well, they got bought up. What was it, Assembly, or who bought them? Assembly, I think. They were acquired a little while ago. So, okay, cool. I think we're pushing up against it. If you guys want to toss in any more comments there, we'll answer those. I think we're good there. AJ, you got anything else?
No, I think we're good. I think we're excited about the future, guys. I think we have a lot to build. I think, one more thing I want to talk about. So Narwhal Nation, first of all, everyone should join that. Second of all, I do think
we're going to... If you're a triple whaler.
Yeah, you have to be a triple whaler, or you can pay for it, potentially.
No, there's no pay. You're either a triple whale or not. You're a whale sanctuary if you're not a triple whaler. I'm not trying to be aggressive with it. It's just there's a certain aspect in community that helps out where when you have certain requisites to be in it. So,
So two things. First of all, I think we're going to be building out. We're going to work on this, and there's not going to be any announcement for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks about this. But we're going to start building out product councils. Essentially, like right now, me and Max, we're very involved in every part of the product. And as the company grows, we want to. I think we're going to pull ourselves out a little bit of all the details. But we think the ethos of that made Triple Whale successful versus a lot of other products on the market until today is that we're not data people that came into a market trying to see an opportunity, and we're working just like we're operators like you, trying to solve our own problems, right? And we want that ethos to continue at scale when we start building out 10 products a month and not only 1 product a month, right? Our vision of Triple Whale is like an AWS, right? AWS launches another product every 3 products a day. They're like insane in terms of their speed. That's what Triple Whale is going to be in terms of the speed of releases. And the only way we can do that at scale is working with the community to define the products that we're building, right? If we're going to build a CDP and figure out what the 3, 4 most important things are for you guys have to be involved in that. And so there's going to be a way for you guys to be actually directly involved with the product managers to define the actual requirements that we build out. So I think that is exciting. I also want to just call out the whole community and say, guys, like we have this like thing. Thank God Triple Whale is growing insanely and customers love it. On the other hand, we're not perfect. And as always, there's bugs and things we're working on, definitely at scale. And so I just want to say, like, I'm so thankful for the community for just the support, the ongoing support. Like there are people that could have badmouthed Triple at some point, but everyone's just been so nice, and we're so thankful for your support, and we're trying to do our best. I hope that comes across in a real way.
Yeah. Triple Whalers to the moon. I mean, it's been the most empathetic, patient, really just awesome community that I've ever been involved in. And I've been, involved in quite a few from small to really, really big.
Yeah.
Um,
Prioritizing. I also want to explain in terms of prioritizing, let's say issues,
Yep.
bugs, or things when we grow at scale, right? So if you're a customer and you're experiencing something, first of all, it's usually only you that are experiencing it, just because like we have a lot of people using the app right now, and if it was breaking everywhere, you guys would see it, right? And so then it becomes a question: how do we prioritize the specific need versus the roadmap need? Because there's so many features and so many you need, right? And if for some reason you are personally not a priority, we're sorry about that, and we're going to try to make you a priority as much as we can. And if we can't, we're going to try to get a system of communicating to you. Like if something's specific, let's say the Pixel, and you're a headless store, which is half on Shopify, half not on, whatever it is, right? Whatever the case is, that specifically we don't serve that use case right now. We want to try to be more communicative about the people we can't support right now. We sort of have to be a little selective of the clients we can support and not support. And it doesn't mean we don't want to support every single merchant. We want to. It's just a question of how we focus our efforts as a small company. You know, we're only 30 people right now. 3 people before, 30 people now, 300 soon, and then 3,000.
Yep.
And as we grow, we'll hopefully support everyone from a tiny company to, Nikes of the world, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Or be Shark Tank's preferred due diligence provider. Shout out Mark Cuban, Hoosiers. And also just kind of tying up in a little bow about Narwhal Nation, AJ and our lead PM, Logan, is actually monitoring the product. There's a channel in there called Product Feedback. And it's been really, really productive in there so far, where people are giving just really, really eloquent, thorough responses. And Logan is doing the same. You can tell there's a lot of effort in his responses. They're really thoughtful. And he has a lot on his plate. So it's been really cool to have, the lead PM just in there kind of circling a Slack community, which is pretty unique. And then also the CEO in there, kind of AJ's in there popping in and out. Max is in there. I'm in there. And to be fair, we're not even the most impressive people in there, which is even crazy. Like there's just some really big hitters in there that are, giving up their time for free just to help other people. So it's been really cool.
I'm excited because I got to meet a lot of the community, and Max did and you did, right? I'm so excited for these people to meet each other, right?
Yeah.
There's great people. And guys, there's so much opportunity in that community. It's insane. Some of the things that we were thinking about early on are how can you cross promote, use email lists. These are things that we're not building out right now, but potentially in the future. You guys have that right now. Like hit people up, figure out how you can collaborate, figure out what opportunities can be born. There's so many of the world's best agencies are working with us. Some unbelievable media buyers, email, everyone. Just everyone's
strategy.
There.
Yeah.
Strategy,
we actually had our first connection, first blood. A couple Narwhalers, they connected, and they're doing a project together now.
Oh, yeah?
So it's people helping people, just kind of that idea sex of just smart people rubbing up against each other and figuring out awesome stuff. It's really
also,
cool.
I would say if anyone's struggling with their ads, you're struggling, just take a Loom video, guys. Upload your
throw it in there. Throw it in there.
Your Pixel page, upload your Facebook, and people will help. If it's not the community, then the lead PM, Logan, was a CMO of a $10 million brand. Rob ran a ton. Corey ran, everyone in the company. Max ran $20 million of Facebook ads in me and Max, right? We're a ton, very knowledgeable, and the community is way more knowledgeable than us. There's people like Eric Carlson in there. That guy's media buying is on the next level, right?
He's another level. Yeah, he's a brilliant guy. He's very
I'm
smart.
sure all these people want to help, and we're all about helping people, and definitely just ask away, guys. There's the best of the world right now of what's happening in D2C are there.
Yeah. I would hang my hat on that. I agree.
That's for sure.
Okay, we're pushing up against the AJ. I think we'll call it unless you have anything else.
No, that's it. We're good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Good. Hey guys, that was number 6 in the books. Thanks
6.
again. Yeah, can you believe it?
Wow.
6. So we'll have Whale Mail going out today. We'll have the new podcast dropping tomorrow. Oh, the Nick Shackelford was actually on You're Not Your ROAS. That will drop today as well. So we'll have that going down. Yeah, he's great, man. He's really interesting guy. He was actually a professional soccer player. I didn't know that. So it's really cool to see his transition from that to this elite media buyer, kind of agency mogul, if you will. But anywho, all right, guys, we'll see everyone on the flip. Hopefully I make it back to Austin. If not, we'll be broadcasting from Columbus again next week. And then we'll see everyone on the flip. Thanks again for joining us. As always, you can subscribe to Whale Mail on our Twitters at TryTripleWhale. And if you do want to get more involved in Triple Whale and you aren't, you can go to trytriplewhale.com to sign up there. That's all we got for you guys. Thanks so much, and we'll see everyone later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.